hit the record button.
Record. Okay.
Record.
Go.
With what?
You. Go.
Well, if you want to know the honest to goodness truth.
Oh, sorry. How are you doing today?
Oh, thanks for caring. I'm doing great. Actually, that's a lie. I'm exhausted.
There's the real. That's the real thing.
Yeah, it's been a crazy week.
Yeah?
Yes, so I told everybody that my parents were in town. That's exciting. There's a glare on my glasses.
Take them off.
Ooh, now I can't see.
You don't need to see yourself. You're beautiful.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Anyway, so my parents have been in town, and it has just been a crazy week. And, oh, look, you're so pretty.
I can't see. Okay, it's been a crazy week.
So, I don't know what happened, but work just blew up to where we had events almost every night, and hours just got longer, and just there's all the things. I started a life group, just all the things. And so, of course, everything just caught on fire the minute my parents walked in the door. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I keep telling them, I swear my life is not this busy all the time. I swear it's not.
That's how it happens.
But, oh man, it's crazy. So, and I'm just exhausted. And you know how it is just when, any little thing. And I'm a creature of habit. I mean, like, I don't realize how much of a creature of habit I am until something comes in and disrupts my biosphere. And then all of a sudden, like this morning, so I have this thing on the outside of my shower door that holds all the towels. It's got like 5 hooks, and it's got a top hook and a lower hook. And Steven always puts his towel on the left side top hook. I always put my towel on the right side bottom hook.
Oh, that stresses me out.
Every time. This is just what we do. And then there's 3 hooks in between. And, well, my parents are here, and they're using my bathroom, so they're just throwing their towels up there. I came out this morning, I was like, this is just utter chaos. This is utter chaos.
What towel is mine?
I don't know what towel is mine. I don't know where we put things. I don't know. So I'm just using new towels left and right. Who does that? I at least get 2 uses out of a towel. I use one side one day and one side the other day.
How do you know what side you use?
By the way, I hang it up on the hanger.
Stressing me out.
And so, anyway, I was just like, it's lawlessness up in here. Just lawless.
Lawlessness.
And I was like,
Georgian.
I'm like, we are doomed to hell with this situation. So I had to let them know that my towel is the one in the middle on the bottom hook. No one touch it.
Guess where I would place my towel after she told me that? On her hook.
You're such a biscuit. Anyway.
That's not what I thought you were going to say. But I am a biscuit. Slapping me with butter.
So,
drizzle me with honey.
I don't know what's happening. And I can't even see, so I don't know.
Keep going with your towel.
So anyway, it's just all the things like that. And I'm just like, what is this? I don't know this life. I don't know this life. It's just utter chaos. And then we got people sleeping on the couch. I mean, it's like...
So it's probably not about the towel. It's probably about that your life is just different right now, and you're not used to it in addition to the workload.
Yes, my routines and all of my things are
so
just
you're gonna
everywhere.
You're gonna feel it and take it all out on the towels.
Yeah.
They can hang. They can handle it because they can hang.
Just lawlessness.
Lawlessness. Anyway. All right.
I'm like Sisyphus. I'm doomed to hell.
Sisyphus.
How about your week?
I think it was good. Nobody's dead. Everybody's alive. I don't know. I think it's good. We added a store to our grocery delivery thing, and so it's been crazy busy. That's a good thing. I just have to learn to schedule myself well, not just be always available. I need to be more selective about my scheduling. But other than that, things are good. Yeah. One thing I did want to bring up here, and I'm just going to jump in, is so y'all know I've been running. And the thing is, like, I'm running I'm not trying to, like, hit goals as far as, like, pace or mileage or anything like that. I'm just genuinely interested in what my body can do. You know what I mean? And so for my whole life, pretty much, I'm like, well, I can't do push-ups, or I can't do this, or I just, that self-talk, you know, and that's always been what I go to, but that self-talk is just like, I can't run because XYZ. And so now I'm over all that, and I'm just doing what I want to do, and I'm just pushing it. And so I've been running, and be jealous, because I run like 3 or 4 miles a week. So I'm pretty much ready for like the Chicago Marathon. So, but anyway, so I'm running.
Are they sponsoring us now?
Yeah. Did you? Yeah, they are. They welcome. So yesterday I was doing a speed run, and basically that's just intervals. So this particular workout was like a minute and a half at your 5K pace, and then 45 seconds at your one mile pace. So 7 out of 8. I think it's 6 out of 7 effort out of 10. So 10 is your max effort. 6 out of 7 is your 5K pace. 7, 8 is like your 1 mile pace. Just kind of booking it. It's not all out, kill yourself, but it's just like pushing yourself. And you do like certain intervals of that, and you do that whole chunk 3 times, if this makes sense. So I have that coach on my app in my ear telling you what you're going to do and everything. So first round, I'm all right. Like I'm pushing it. Second round, I'm like, but third round was horrible. Like it was horrible, but I didn't let it go downward in my mind. Does this make sense? And so the coach is in your ear telling you things, and they know, because they're running coaches, they know that third set of intervals are really hard, and you're going to maintain that same pace, you're going to have to put more effort towards maintaining that same pace. Does that make sense? And so you're pushing yourself, so your mental chatter has to either be silenced or positive, encouraging, and so just pushing, and I maintained my pace, and it was hard, like, and I'm looking at my heart rate, and I'm all the input numbers and
it
stuff
will
like
explode.
that. I'm like, but the thing is, I did it. And so then, recovery is like walk, or put your hands on your head, get your breathing under control. You have to take control of your breathing. If you can wait for it to kind of come down and your heart rate to come down on its own, but you literally can take control of your breathing and slow and deepen your breathing. Because when you're booking it, when you're running pretty quickly, you tend to go, you know what I mean? And that is not fueling your body the way that it needs to when you're running, and then when you're recovering. And you have to use that recovery time to truly recover, right? And so this is all during the speed run. And as you can see, I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure out, like, all of these principles, these thoughts are applicable to your life. So during the actual recovery, after I was done with all of these intervals, I have my hands on my head, and I'm intentionally breathing deeply and slowing my heart rate down. And then I'm thinking about, like, perseverance. Like, that's what this is. Like, it is in me. I'm so tired and I'm exhausted, and all I want is water at that point. But I cannot believe that it's in me. So then I think about my life.
Yeah.
And it's just not a hard parallel to make. But like, how many times have I said that I can't do something in life?
Yeah.
And how many times have I just sat there and whined and complained about whatever's going on in my life, and from something as minor as having family visiting to something major like I don't know what, a financial crisis, or maybe even, I hate to say it, but losing a loved one or something like that. Like, we still have it in us to persevere. And as a Christ follower, we have him within us. We have him living within us, and his power. And I'm not ever going to say don't rely on the power of Christ. Like, 100% always do. But I have to trust that I have it in me because of him. But my dialogue, I can just cling to Jesus, and I'm clinging to Jesus. But I think there's something to be said for saying it is in me. And I can decide, I can intentionally draw on this power to persevere through whatever's coming. You know what I mean? Whether it be, a busy work schedule, or teenagers, or pre-tweens, and toddlers, and all the things that I always kind of come to the table with, like, bleh! No, like, pick it up. And so I think there's something healthy for having, like, life sucks and I just want to die those days. But then also, I really feel like, honestly, they need to be balanced with, like, no, I can do this. Yeah. And it sucks right now, and all I want to do is stop. But keep going. And then when you do have those recovery periods, to just really intentionally slow yourself down. Turn off the electronics, read the book, have the ice cream, do the thing that's going to help you recover intentionally, and know that that's what you're doing. You're actually caring for yourself in that way. So that's just a whole lot of things that have been pinging around in my mind, and I was going to write about it, but I have so many thoughts and words that when I try to get it down, oftentimes it doesn't present itself the way that it is in my head. So that's just, just something that was something on my mind. And so then I'm like, well, God, it makes sense. So Lord, what do you want me to apply this to in my life right now? What am I complaining about? Like, what do I feel like that I'm going to quit, you know? And I'd be lying if I didn't say I have now filtered everything in my life through that. Like, am I trying to quit? It's fine. Am I trying to quit being an intentional mother or a caring wife or any of those things? So,
yeah, I've had those seasons in my life where it was just really hard to put one foot in front of the other. Like, waking up and just taking a breath was so taxing. And I'll never forget, one time, a new day had started, and I woke up and I was laying there and I was like, God, I cannot do this. I just cannot. And we all know God's not, speaking through the clouds saying stuff, but I could feel him in my spirit say, you can and you will. And it was at that moment that I just was like, okay.
Yeah.
So I was able to put my feet on the floor and get up and start my day. And all day long, there was actually a whole season where I just had to recall him saying that to me. And it was like every time I started to feel like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I can't keep doing this.
Yeah.
And I could just remember him saying, you can and you will. And it just gave me the strength to do that. And I just think that, a lot of you out there have had moments where you've had God say something to your spirit, and sometimes we need to remember those things and just cling to them in those moments when we think that we just can't go on. And perseverance is so much more than we think it is. A lot of times I know for me, there were times where I felt like I was a turtle running in molasses. But yet, why are you laughing at
Because
me?
your sayings are always so just like, okay, I see what you're saying. Literally, I can see.
I'm a word picture girl.
Yeah, well, I'm picturing your words.
So, anyway, even though that's how it felt, and you feel like you're not getting anywhere, you feel like you're stuck, like you've got those concrete boots on, the fact that you just keep going is all the determination, the grit, the perseverance that you need. The very fact that you're getting out of bed and you are taking one breath, putting one foot in front of the other, that is perseverance in a lot of seasons. Now, in some seasons, life is going good and you're just doing bare minimum because you don't really have to put some effort out there.
Yeah.
And in those times, that's when it's the most challenging to have perseverance.
Yeah.
And so, and I was in one of those seasons up until about 2 weeks ago. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. Well, so continuing running for me, like that's a good metaphor for me right now. So sometimes when you're running and it's kind of getting challenging, you can turn on music and just escape, and you're still going, but you're mentally elsewhere, right?
Yeah.
And you're still making those strides. You're going to arrive at that finish line. But then other times you need, and the coach is so great for this, you need to really be aware of your surroundings, have self-awareness. Practice that. Like, what does the air feel like on your skin? Are you breathing? Are you running relaxed? Or do you have a smile on your face? Because even if you feel pain in your calves or whatever, if you smile, that will change your whole experience. It really will. And I've done it, and I look like a crazy girl because the other day it was raining and I'm running in the rain with a smile on my face. But it did change that run. You know what I'm saying? And so in life, there's times that you just put your head down and you keep going, and you're gonna arrive. But there's other times, and I think it just takes some discernment at what time is for what use or whatever. But then also being aware of what's going on and not missing it, because as a parent of younger kids, it's easy to put your head down and just do the thing and do the everyday, day-to-day stuff.
Yeah.
But then also you're missing out on that. Like, actually what's going on. It's tough, but you need to have those experiences. And I think it's important for those kids in that example to have that that mother who's present and mindful.
Right.
And I just think it's a huge deal. And you said keep putting one foot in front of the other. Well, another thing, obviously I love these running coaches, but another thing that I heard one of these coaches say, that every step is a starting line. You know, so this is a whole, his mercies are new every morning, that kind of thing. So you might have been walking slower than you wanted or whatever, but just putting that one step in front of the other. Another coach said that running is flying, with just little bits of touching down, but you're really airborne. And so your perspective, it can really make or break whether or not you're able to persevere. And I just think it's
your perspective is everything.
Yeah.
Because if you believe that you can't do something, you won't be able to do something.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and tell you, if you think you can't do it, you won't be able to do it. But
can't.
even if it's something that is challenging and you think, well, maybe you'll be able to do it.
Yeah.
Just because you have to, it is mind over matter.
Absolutely.
Most of the times. I'm doing this new switch on your brain thing or whatever.
Caroline Leaf.
Come on.
She did.
And one of the things that she talks about is people overcome cancer because they believe they can. Terminal, you've got 3 days to live cancer. And, a lot of it is here. And I'll never forget when I was in college, I majored in psychology, and one of the papers I had to write was how does the mind affect our health? And there are studies upon studies where people are given the same diagnosis, and they have the same they're in the same phase of the diagnosis, and then they divided them into people who were positive about it, and they were like, no, this is not gonna take me out. This is not the thing. I'd rather die jumping out of a plane, but this illness is not going to take me out. And then there were the people that succumbed to, oh my gosh, this is my fate, blah, blah, blah. And actually only 10% of these people lived, whereas 80% of these people did.
Yeah.
And the mind is so important.
Yeah.
They had the same exact diagnosis.
Yeah.
And so, and they were in the same stages of the diagnosis. And so the mind is so important. And I know for me, I can see that in my daily walk.
Yeah.
Because you had said something earlier that I resonated with big time. So when I first started working out, I do Orange Theory. And I think it's funny that you're talking about.
Do they sponsor us?
Orange Theory sponsors us.
Welcome, Orange Theory.
So anyway, they sponsor us by I Can Breathe Now because I work out there.
You pay to work out there, but they sponsor.
I pay them a lot of money, and yes.
All right.
So they do a thing. It's called. So they have the 3 things. It's base pace. That's when you're good. You could do this all day long. They have base pace. Then they have push pace, and that's your middle pace.
It's your effort.
That's your effort.
Yeah.
And then you've got all out, and that means I'm only going to be able to do this for 1 minute, and then I'm gonna fall out all over this treadmill. You got a treadmill?
Y'all selling a treadmill?
Anyway,
because I need one.
So anyway, when I first started, I just remember I would do not base pace, but I would do my push pace, which isn't the all out, but it's the middle. And I just remember huffing it the entire time, thinking, you are worthless. You are not going to get very far. You can't do this. When I know that I used to run 5Ks. I used to run 5Ks. And the whole time you're just like, you'll never get back to that place. And the thing is that it was excruciating every step I took.
Yeah.
And then something switched in me, and it was probably 4 or 5 months ago, to where it was like, you know what? You're a runner. What is wrong with you? This is what you do. And here's the thing. I'm going to be honest with you. I am not a fast runner. You've seen it. It's sad. There are people pushing baby strollers, walking, that are passing me as I'm running, but whatever. And but now it's just like, when I do that all out, it's not so taxing. It's like, man, did you see what I just did? I was running at a 5 for I'm kidding.
Don't be jealous, but I got an 18 minutes per mile pace.
But I didn't fall off the
18-minute mile. All right. Yeah.
18-minute mile.
Hey, I ain't hating on it.
So anyway,
my leg over here.
It's okay. You've been doing high kicks this entire
Woo! You know, I'm excited. I'm excited. You know, I was thinking, another thing is like, so how we talk to ourselves matters, right? Our mental state matters. But I tell my kids all the time, and I want it to be the thing that when they're like 50, be like, oh, my mom used to always say that. I'm trying. But basically, what are you feeding yourself? Like, what are you taking in? What, like your entertainment or your material, your I don't know, blogs or podcasts or music or reading. Like, what are you garbage in?
I just watch VeggieTales all the time.
No, you don't. Garbage in, garbage out. But that's the thing. And so people make fun of me because I don't really watch the news. I live under a rock. I'm not super duper relevant. I have trusted people that tell me things. You know, well, I do. I have people that I trust, that I love, that are like, hey, you probably want to know about this, that, or the other. I've got different emails that come to me that, so the Skim, I don't know if you guys have heard of that. That's an email dispatch every day that tells you like what's going on in the world. So they sponsor us. Anyway, I get that emailed to me, so I know what's going on of importance, you know, and it's just basically like just things around the world, in our country, and things like that are going on. But I don't love to hear about all of the murders and the rapes, and this is fear-mongering and these things that are going on. I don't really listen to a whole bunch of just like booty-shaking club music, because those are that really warps my thinking, honestly. And when I think those bad thoughts, like, I'm learning to identify them and not think them, you know, and I'm just choosing, I'm taking those thoughts captive. I'm being intentional with my thoughts.
Well, and here's the thing. We were never meant to take in information the way that it is given to us at this point.
Right.
I mean, you think about it. Up until, you know, the car was invented, I mean, it would take days for you to hear news that wasn't in your direct realm.
Yeah.
And so now we're hearing news about stuff in China within 10 seconds, and it's like, what? Why do I, and why do I need to know this?
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just more fear in the world. And we were, that's why we're in such a high anxiety culture, is because we know so much more than we were ever intended to know. And so that's wise to, you know, that's guarding your heart.
Yeah.
That's what that is. It's guarding your heart. And so I think that's very wise. And I can tell a difference in me and how close I am to Jesus with the things that I'm taking in. Because if I'm not taking in things that, you know, point to him, then a lot of times it's hard for me to refocus and recenter when I do go to spend time with him.
Right.
Because my heart's not already there. And I mean, what's the scripture, Romans 12:1, when he talks about, you know, live your life as an offering, holy and pleasing to God. Your life, like every breath, not when you do your quiet time.
Yeah.
It's your life.
Yeah.
It's a living sacrifice. And so that's part of being a living sacrifice.
Well, and one thing with me, I realize that when I go take in too much of the things that I know maybe aren't the best for me, or like, I don't know, I don't mean to step on any toes, but if I take in things, I get desensitized to the things that are, it's a churchy word, but worldly. You know what I'm saying? And I wish I could find another synonym for that, but things that are just not good for me, like
Gentile.
Shut up. Okay, so my aim is just to be real and genuine and authentic and love you the best that I can. If you're like, I don't really give a care about all this other stuff, right? And so if I am watching movies where this is a horrible example, but if I'm watching stuff where people are just acting the way that I don't want my life to turn out, then I start to take that as like, oh, this is the norm. This is what we're doing. This is the broad road, another like church statement, but I get desensitized to that. And I'm like, no, I want to be sensitive to the things that are not true to where I want my life to be, or where I want to go, or how the direction in which I want my heart to be inclined. And the same for my kiddos. And so we're not sheltered, but I know where I live. I know what I'm not exposed to intentionally, what I don't expose myself to. It's not because someone or some institution has told me not to do a thing. It's because if I know the thing, like, I don't know, I know what's best for me.
Well, you know yourself. Well, it's just like, okay, for me, here's the thing. I'm not a big, I don't do cuss words. And here's the thing. It's not that I'm trying to be holier than anything or anything like that. It's just a personal conviction of mine. Because first of all, I don't want my kids cussing. Yeah. So therefore, I'm not going to ever have that as their example. Well, when I start watching movies or shows that have a lot of cuss words in them, I'm taking in that information and it's changing the dialogue in my brain. And so then when I stump my toe in the middle of the night, instead of saying butter biscuits, you know, now all of a sudden I'm like, son of a, and it's this horrible thing. Because, well, that is a thing, and I've noticed that within myself is whatever I'm taking in, I become that.
Yeah.
And so that's why if I'm taking in God's word, I'm going to become that. If I am taking in, you know, shows that are nudie and all the cuss words and
well, and the thing is, you do
sin.
It unintentionally. It's not even that you're intentionally
it's
doing it.
Subconscious. I mean, it's all the way back here, and then it's not until you stump your toe or you know you get angry, and then all of a sudden it's like so conscious. You're like, why am I saying the F word like with a comma? Like a comma.
Like a comma. That's how I am with secular music. I mean, I just hate to say it. Like, I drive faster. I play my music louder. I just get like
you're such a rebel.
I'm like in my Prius. But no,
I just listening to Kid Rock. That's what it is.
Well, rap does it to me. Like, I just get like I feel like I belong on a music video, like twerking on top of like a rooftop building or something.
Do you have an AK in your car?
Yes, yeah, yeah. But anyway, that's I'm gonna kill you. He sponsors us too. I don't know his name.
Now you're bleeding.
We're not gonna link that. We're not gonna link that below because we're not good. But anyway, it's just things that it's just real. Like it's a real thing. I get desensitized to it. So also, if you're taking in things, you know, that are good, then it just comes out automatically as well. So anyway,
I get you.
All right, 26 minutes and 31 seconds.
There we go.
Yeah. So do you have? Welcome back. That was me.
Well,
that was my foot. Sorry, I knocked the camera down. All right, that was a good 15 seconds of distraction time.
There we go.
All right,
everybody got a break.
Yeah. What are we doing?
Intermission. What are you grateful for this week, QWERTY?
I don't. Gosh, I need to think ahead of time.
Okay, let me tell you what I'm grateful for.
Okay,
So
good.
while you think.
I'm listening and thinking.
I'll be talking to these kind folks out here. So I'm going to be honest with you. I am grateful for the knowledge of when I am being present in my life and when I am not. And this week has required every single ounce of me being present and being with the people that I'm with and all the things. And, you know, last night I really felt like I was being bombarded and I wasn't present. But regardless of that, I'm grateful that I was able to switch over and I was able to reframe some things and come back to it and give some presence. But man, I want to be all there for the people that I'm with, but sometimes it's just a lot, and it's a you know.
Yeah.
So.
That's real. I'm grateful for like, I hate to say it like this because now it has a meaning of its own, but basically the ministry of Me Too, not like the latest sexual whatever, but I mean like literally Me Too. So I posted a blog post about my small house and how my perspective and all I wanted was all these things, and it just whatever, I wrote about it. But there was a lot of people that contacted me directly or even commented on the thing that are like, you know, I feel you, I see what you're saying,
right.
I've been there,
Me
or
too.
I am there. Me too, essentially. Yeah. And it's like, oh my gosh, and not that I need that, but it just feels good to know that you're not alone,
Right.
And so the ministry of Me Too, it's just really powerful, and you don't think about it in the moment. And so like you put yourself out there, you be vulnerable, and then when people say Me Too and then fill in the blank with whatever, it just helps me to take a really big breath, like a sigh of relief, like okay, like I can keep going, because this person, you know, they were talking about their house, 9 people in a house similar in size to mine.
Sweet Gus.
And I'm just like, whoa.
Perspective.
Yeah, and it wasn't like, there's been times in my life in the past that I'd be like, oh well, I just need to be grateful for what I have because at least I don't have 9 people in this little house. But that's not how I took it at all. I took it as like, you know what? Like, they did it, and I'm doing it, and this is
It can be
challenging.
done.
Yeah, it's challenging.
You
and
can and you will.
Yes, yes. So anyway, the Ministry of Me Too is really, really cool. So.
That is good. I love
Yep.
it.
Anyway.
All right, we're right up on 30 minutes, so we're going to let you guys go. And I hope you have a fabulous week.
That's my gang signs for 30 minutes. 30 minutes.
You got to stop listening to that music.
That's a 3 and a 0.
Ooh, ooh. All right, guys. It's fine.
It's fine.
We'll see you later.